How's it going, everyone? Javita here with at least an attempt at a proper Let's Play series. I've never done a proper Let's Play series for Boundless, so this will be kind of interesting to try out. Basically, the reason I've never gotten around to it, I've always kind of intended to do it, but I just kind of got to a certain point of I was so familiar with the game, it didn't make a lot of sense because it would just be me showing off, I guess, how good I am at the game or how familiar I am with it. But now that so much has changed, I feel like maybe I've kind of lost touch a little bit with the very beginning of the game, and all the crafting's different, so it might actually be kind of an interesting experience, at least for me, to kind of start off brand new and kind of see what's what. So anyway, this was requested by Triple Dice, but there's also been people in the past that suggested either a Let's Play or similar things to it. But I'm on a fresh account, and I've taken the liberty of kind of setting everything up and creating a character. If you're brand new to Boundless and you're playing the game, something I would recommend is to go over to settings, the game settings right here, and you want to kind of scroll down to about right here, item selection radial switching. By default it's to both hands, and when you use the mouse wheel that will make both hands switch items. So you can pop this over to primary hand only, and that way the scroll wheel will only switch your primary hand, and at least I personally find this invaluable. There certainly could be a use for both hands, like you could kind of set up sets of items that go together, but the first time you go into a cave and you want your torch in your secondary hand and your tool in your primary hand, and you want to switch between tools, and now you're taking your torch off your, you know, you kind of get the idea. And then maybe go over to controls and set up a modifier so you can use the modifier key, which I believe would be like Alt by default. So like Alt and scroll wheel would then be able to select your secondary hand item. So and of course you can use the number keys and then the modifier with the number keys. There's like a crazy number of different ways of switching your hands. Certainly you could leave it on over here on both hands, and then use the modifier keys like Control and Alt, I believe, is for left and right hand. And so you could do it that way, but you know, personal preference, and just my 2 cents on that matter. Everything else you can kind of get away with, but you could certainly go over to graphics and all these other things, like head bobbing. I don't personally like head bobbing, and of course mouse sensitivity, but enough on that. I'll stop rambling. But to promote maybe some interaction with the game, I am on actually a whole new brand new account. So I literally have over here to character select, I only have one character. As you probably see, you can't tell what my character name is. So a couple of things for maybe the more experienced players, just to promote some interaction, is I'm not going to let you know what planet I am or what my name is. And I think I'm going to do some kind of reward for the first person that figures out maybe each one of those. Like the planet, I might give you like your choice of a gem grapple, and if you figure out what my name is, then some other kind of greater reward. I'm not quite sure what that would be yet, but I'm not exactly sure how I'm going to do picking my warp location, because I would like to show that. But first off, we gotta put this warp augment on top of here. If you're ever confused on what to do, the tutorials and the contextual hints up here are pretty golden. That's kind of another thing, is I've meant for a long time to update my quick start series, but really you can just look up here, and if you're ever confused, it's probably up here trying to tell you what to do. So I'm either going to cut out this part so I'm not showing the planet quite so much, or I might alter the image. I'm not really sure, but basically what I'm looking for is I want a location that has some trees, some water, and semi-close to the desert, as well as being kind of off, a little bit isolated. So I think I'll spend some time looking at the planet until I find a place that I'm happy with, and see you on the other side. Okay, so there's this really small body of water right here. It's kind of in this, looks like it's kind of desert, scrubby area. So let's I guess let's go ahead and do this. It looks semi-unpopulated, so you can always get down there and move to a new location if it turns out to be bad. But let's complete this. Warp tower, I think is what they call it. And landing site, open warp. So, side note on cutting stuff out, I mean, it is an MMO, so I'm going to have to cut some stuff out, like the grind, basically, of gathering resources and things like that. So I'll be doing some of that off camera, some of it on my own time. But at least starting off, I'm going to try to cut out as little as possible, just so people that are unfamiliar with Boundless has a chance to kind of see, okay, how long does it take to do things and get started? And so, yeah, initially I won't be cutting out a whole lot, but as we go along, I'll be cutting out more and more. And so, build a temporary campfire, tree trunks, and foliage. So, oh my goodness. So yeah, it's been a while since I've had to deal with this slow of action speed and crappy tools and whatnot. So, very humbling, I suppose. Let's see here. We still need 5 more of these things, and then we'll need 5 foliage or leaves. Okay, just 2 more. And that's another thing. At some point we're going to have to find some food. So down here we have the Fool Up buff. This gives us some natural health regeneration, and this is kind of like the new player bonus buff that kind of does some interesting things. It prevents creatures from being hostile towards you, at least until you attack them. And I believe it also keeps it persistent daytime until you're like, what, level 6 or something, I believe is when it drops off. I'm not 100% sure on the persistent daytime though. Just know there is a period of time that it will essentially always be daylight, which is kind of nice. I mean, it doesn't get hugely dark in Boundless, but it can still, like if you don't have a torch and maybe your gamma or brightness settings are kind of off a little bit, it might be a little bit harder for a new player, but certainly not that big of a deal to be able to craft a torch. So should be able to, yeah, go over to handcraft. Let's get a campfire going. So this is going to be, just kind of gives us a little temporary protected area that only we can mess with. And let's see here. So very nice. This nice little body of water. And is it very deep? Okay, so it's not hugely deep. It's got some depth to it, but let's go ahead, do the campfire over here. And I think eventually we'll kind of build out on the water. The nice thing about the water is eventually it's sort of used in crafting, at least some of the food recipes, but it also provides some natural protection from animals. And interesting, when I first started playing the game, animals would like automatically drop their loot. There was no corpse left behind that you had to harvest. So if you lived in the water and all the animals kind of like fell into the water and drowned, and you just kind of look out and it'd just be all this floating meat and bones. So it was a really nice way to farm that stuff kind of passively. So, but, oh, they want me, okay, so spend a skill point so you can hit H, come over to skills, and you can only access this first one. All of these are locked. But this is going to give us our basic crafting recipes, and yeah, that's all we have skill points for. So you can toggle B. So this kind of gray box is the protected area that this campfire gave me. So only I can build inside of this, and I can hit B to turn it off and on. So pretty cool. You can also use this to kind of see other people's beaconed areas, which I don't see anybody in sight. So looks like it did a pretty good job of finding an isolated area. So, but it wants us to handcraft timber. And here we go. So we only have twisted. There we go. So it wants us to do a crafting table. And it's kind of the importance of the campfire is you can only place crafting machines inside a campfire, which is pretty good because if you didn't put it inside a campfire, anybody would be able to take it, take the stuff out of it, and that would not be a good thing. Not to mention it would be vulnerable to world regeneration, which after 13-ish hours of no player activity, the world will essentially turn to its pristine state. So that tree that I mutilated over there will eventually pop back into its original state. So now we want timber, sticks, leaves. So we need more leaves. Conveniently, there's some right here. And we might need to get some more trunks. Very nice, level 3 already. So I could have done a trick of like get as close to civilization as possible and then like visit all the planets through the portal hubs, but I kind of wanted to show kind of the new player experience. So I'm not going to be doing at least that particular trick, and probably I don't think there's really any others I could pull out of my bag of tricks that would like insanely power level me up front. But so it looks like we got plenty of leaves. And do we have, well, we have 5, so that'll get us, still need to what, get 1 more probably. 8, 10, yeah, so we need 1 more log. Let's stick with the twisted. So, oh wow, this is my running speed. Oh my goodness. Okay, so, and might as well, let's get at least a few more pieces of wood, because yeah, our hunger for wood is going to be unceasing for quite some time, especially since I like to build with it a fair amount. So this probably be the last one. Ooh, and so, oh, okay, that was so we're a little bit hungry. That's actually something that's a little bit confusing. As you get hungry, this bar gets smaller. But as you see, I can just kind of waste some stamina here, and when I'm just have used up some stamina, it kind of turns to that light gray. But when it's all darker like that, that's what you're missing because you're hungry. And see that regenerated back up. You can also hit H, profile, core attributes, and you can see that I have a 9% hunger penalty. So yeah, I can't talk. So that's kind of energy and hunger in a nutshell, but I don't think that's going to give me earth yams. But yeah, just the edible lamella, however you say that. And so what does it want? Oh, okay, so we need sticks and timber. Oh, so it's a good thing we got a little bit of extra trunks. So now we need, what, 12 sticks? 1, 2, 3. There we go. Wow, 1 trunk left over. So now it wants us, oh, so it wants us to craft wood gear. Get a hammer, axe, and shovel. And let's get this on our action bar here. So yeah, like shovel to be there, hammer can be right there. And normally I'd put my sling bow there, or whatever. Okay, what is it? So now we need more leaves and now rocks. So have some more. So yeah, building a permanent base. So this campfire, it only provides 24 hours of protection, if I remember correctly. Yeah, 24 hours. So yeah, that's not going to get you very far, so you at least need to get a beacon down so you can fuel it for about 2 weeks. We need rocks. Oh, sweet. Ooh, yucca plants. There we go. So fibrous leaves are kind of valuable. I mean, they're not necessarily hard to get, but they're kind of annoying. Nobody wants to farm them, and you need them for all sorts of things. So probably want to grab yucca plants pretty much anytime you see them if you have the bag space for them. And 5 more rocks. So this is actually a really nice starting spot, I have to say. It's like I didn't have to dig for the rocks, and there's plenty of wood, at least for the time being. And yeah, got some water, so whenever I need water, it's right there. I think I'll build out on it, and that'll actually kind of help me farm animal products, assuming the animals actually wander into the water. They might be a little bit smarter now, but... So, craft a beacon controlled with the crafting table, and acquire minor beacon fuel. So, let's see here, let's change the filter to able to craft. So I can make the beacon fuel, but no beacon. So why is that? What are we missing? Okay, so we're missing... So they told us to get trunks. Oh, is that timber only? Where'd it go? There it is. So, okay, so we just need timber, that's all. Hop over to able to craft. Ooh. Okay. Here we go, there's some more twisted up here. That should be plenty, surely, because, I mean, what, we only needed 5 or so. Let's go ahead and turn it all into... I'll probably regret that later, but, yeah. We certainly know where to get more wood, so can't bulk or mass craft yet because we don't have the skill, and really, we don't need that many beacon controls, at least at the beginning. Very nice, so we can go ahead and craft our fuel, and this will take just a few moments. Oh, okay, that crafts instantly. It's like there's no time. There we go, everything's done. Come over to contents. Awesome. And plop that down there, and really just kind of... There we go. And basically, really don't need this. Well, I guess it provides a little bit of light, so might as well. Come over here to fuel and plop our minor beacon fuel. So this will add 1 week, 6 days. So basically fuels it for 2 weeks. So very nice. Now we don't have to worry about our stuff disappearing in the first day. And go ahead and turn beacon view off. You can assign a beacon name. So, yeah. Very nice. Level 4 reached. So now they want me to craft a beacon plotter. Let's take a look. Do we have enough skill points to get anything interesting? So we can get the compass. So I don't know, I'll go ahead and I'll leave the compass alone for now. No, I guess I'll get it. I will kind of, I guess, blur out the compass just so that doesn't give anything away as far as the kind of competition. We can get the scanner so we can see interesting stuff. And yeah, we're not too concerned about creep or advanced block placement. So, and we're out of skill points anyway. So, craft a beacon plotter. Very nice. So we actually have the stuff to make it. We need oh nice, only one piece of foliage to be able to make the remover. We don't necessarily need it, but it would be nice in case we make a mistake somewhere. Okay, so we got plenty of leaves here. Let's come over here. And yeah, nice. It just finished crafting. Let's get our plot remover started. And let's see here. So they want us to extend our base. So handy little thing. Could be a little crazy with this thing jumping all over the place, so I kind of apologize. But as you can see, there's this big, huge plus, and that is the side that is going to be added to. So, you know, of course you can't add plots unless it has a plot already to connect to. So let's get, I guess, a little bit more real estate on land, maybe off to the side, and out into the water a little bit. So, that's probably good. Okay, so complete an objective in the journal. So very nice. So we can hit J, so it says right there in the middle of the screen. Open up basically our journal here and look at our different. So yeah, we have no pinned objectives except for this one to mess with the journal. We can go over to objectives and they're all kind of mixed together. So here's like the complete ones. Here's the one we're working on right now. But then there's all this stuff over here. We can come up here and click this filter. And yeah, see only the ones that we have not done. So improve your beacon base. So we can go ahead and pin that. Just kind of pin all of these really. Okay, so we can only have 3 pinned for now. I believe this number increases over time, or at least it did at one point in the game. But for right now, we can only do 3. So improved. Yeah, let's unpin that for now and do the improved tool set, because that's going to be actually more important to us than just improving our base. So collect resources and improve tool set. Ooh, 20 rocks, 20 trunks, and stone equipment is basically what we need to do. So kind of sounds like stone all around. I still can't get over how slow the starting speed is. That's just, I don't know, painful when you're used to the faster stuff. So get some stone over here. I think I'll probably go ahead and cut it off here. I'd like to keep episodes around 20 minutes, which is going to make these first few episodes really kind of not full of content, I guess, because I want to say short, but you know, short on content just because I don't want to cut out just a huge amount of stuff. I feel it's kind of important to, at least in the beginning episodes, to kind of show the speed of how fast you progress, basically. So But anyway, this was Javita. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe if you want to see more like this, and if there's anything you didn't like, please let me know down below. Or if you already know what planet / name my character is. So, till next time, peace.